One of our boys is down bad. One of our boys has been down bad, and I think we need the help. This story has been evolving over time, and it is the biggest Jody story that has come across Reddit in the recent future, or the recent times. He says, and this is Wireman56, 7 days ago. I was holding on to the story because I wanted to cover it, and I want to do it on stream. Says, the Our Divorce group suggested I post on here. I don't know what to do. I'm sad, terrified, having horrible thoughts. I'm not a perfect man. No one's asking you to be here. But I thought I had the perfect life. I'm in the National Guard, but work full-time in big industry. I make over 6 figures a year. You're a high-quality dude. You're in the military. You make good money. Okay. He works out. I'd hope so. You're in the military. I built my own house. I'm assuming with your bare hands. All right, you're better than me. And built my own small farm. So I've been with my soon-to-be ex-wife for 11 years. We finally got married 2 years ago. So 9 years of vetting of this woman before they got married. We don't know how many red flags, but okay, good amount of time. I just returned from a combat deployment. We were ready to have kids, which I would say is not a crazy time frame. If anything, I commend you for waiting this long to get yourself up to this socioeconomic level and build your life out. And he says, I discovered she was with a man she hired to fix our fence while I was gone for over 6 months. They had unprotected numerous times. She fell in love with him. She did things and felt things with him she never did with me. She found her small town cowboy she always wanted. I'm not a cowboy. Nobody wanted you to be a cowboy, and you don't want to be a cowboy, so why are you going to try and change yourself to be a cowboy? That's not the purpose of you being in this relationship. If she wanted that, she should have communicated and left. But she wanted to mold you. She's trying to mold you. To be fair, you were almost there. I doubt you had cowboy boots, cowboy hat, or the belt buckle. But you had a little mini farm. You were trying to do... I wonder if this was even for her or for you, the house and building this. Like, was this your dream or her dream? I don't know. She doesn't know that I know about the extreme depth of their infidelity. She has acted weird ever since I've been home, claiming she lived for a year by herself and she adjusted to being gone. That is okay. It's understood that when somebody leaves for several months, 6, 8, 10, 12 months, there's going to be some stuff that's different. Even though it doesn't seem different, your day-to-day minute changes are not going to be noticeable in day-to-day, but it's okay. It says, the real reason I think is that she's in love with him, but only stays with me because I never left her. That she knows I'm a good provider and protector. He's just a younger, hot cowboy who is married and has kids and F's clients. What did I do wrong? I know I have to work on my vulnerability, but this hurts so effing bad. The issue with you on this situation, and I'm going to see what you guys think here, is... she's using you for your financial being and state only. You are being a glorified ATM. You are being not even emotionally included at all with this, which I doubt even physically included with all of this, as she's being very standoffish and maybe not, being as affectionate and things like that. She talked about having kids with him and running away together. She's living this double life and pretending everything is fine. She's planning our planting season this year. Oh, so commendable. She's trying to act like a team player and still act a little bit bought in, but whatever. Living out her own dream. We bought more chickens. She talks about having children with me and scheduling doctor's appointments. She hasn't realized how utterly broken I am as I hide behind the sphere of stoicism the military taught me. Listen here, guy. I understand you're trying to be the stand-up dude. Check yourself. Check your emotions at the door. That's never worked for anybody coming back from a combat deployment ever. It doesn't. If anything, it puts gasoline on this fire of this issue that you're facing. Of you maybe having some combat-related stress, maybe some family stress, maybe some, economic stress, who knows, as you're buying more stuff and you're still thinking, how much of this am I going to lose? You buying chickens and building more is only giving more leverage, so what you're going to split later on. Says, I've spoken with my best friend about it to discuss the details. He thinks I should file for divorce and kick her out, which I'll commend your friend because he's doing the most logical thing that you should be doing, and I understand it's hard after 11 years of doing this, but she's very blatantly left you out to dry and has done nothing to try and wrap you in to this. She's banging the fence builder. She's banging the fence builder. Put that in your brain for a second here, guy. And says, he says, I'll try to fix it with her. If I try to fix it with her, we can't be friends. Ooh, your friend is giving the ultimatum because he realizes, by the way, your friend's not the one effing you either or splitting half your crap with him. His incentive here is almost nothing. Nothing to give you this ultimatum. It is to just get you to safety. And he's figuring even that little bit would help. And then he goes on to say, part of my Catholic nature, we weren't married in the Catholic Church. Interesting. You know, usually that's a deal breaker. Thinks I can fix this and make it work. No. You have nothing to fix here, guy. You have nothing to fix. You literally are the guy that should not be looking to fix anything, as you did your due diligence in this relationship. From what you've told us, you did not cheat. You are out doing a combat deployment. You have provided for this woman during the last almost 11 years of a relationship. 2 years were married. And of that time that she was being unfaithful, it was during the marriage, which is kind of crazy portion of that, because you guys had 9 years of, you know, being in a relationship status, not being married. And he says, thinks I can make it work. I don't think it's possible. Good. I don't think myself, the friends, or anybody on my live stream is going to think that, or in the, you know, comments of this video as I clip it out. It says, what will happen if I deploy again? She will do this again. She will do this again. And, you know, as somebody that's been through some shit in my life, I can tell you right now, the tried and true things that are out there are typically repeated so often because there is some truth to it. Every joke is kind of funny because there is some truth to it. You know, those are two things that I compare a lot, because that is what I see from the situation is you are avoiding every red flag of this. And my red flag, I would say, she didn't honor your wishes to be married in the Catholic Church. Interesting. And he says, I don't want to start over. I'm in my mid-30s and feel like I'm running out of time and have dedicated my wife and a farm full of kids who I want to raise to be great Americans. Okay, so what you've told everybody here is you have a dream of having this farm. You have these kids. You have these chickens. And this is your dream. Your dream. And you're sad and you're upset because that dream was not her dream. And you're also sad because it's kind of a death of your dream. A little bit, because you had envisioned this and the picture of the woman in your life was her. Now, granted, there will be other women that would die for this. Really, they would. You can't see it. You got the blinders on. This is the only girl that could ever fulfill this thing. There are 7 to 8 billion people. Yes, there are 7 to 8 billion people. Somebody out there wants this. It's great that you want to raise great kids, great Americans. That's so patriotic. You join the military. You serve. You're obviously handyman. You're doing all this. If you keep doing this, there's going to be a point where you're going to be so high up there, you're going to have to knock girls with red flags off of sticks. That's what it is. I don't know if you're in Nebraska and you live next to your 5 cousins that are trying to date you. I don't know. Beat them off with sticks before any of that happens anyway. That's disgusting. But, you know, wherever you're at, man, please God help me. Now, there's a bunch of updates, and that's why I wanted to go over this, because the first update was January 24th. He says, I broke down crying randomly 3 times driving to work this morning, listening to the Bible in a Year podcast when Father Mike was praying for those trying to have children. The last time I cried was 2010 when my friend got killed returning from Iraq. Maybe this is acceptance. I will say this, my friend, you are not in acceptance yet. Out of all the stages, it was a brief moment of acceptance, but as time goes on, that acceptance is like the very end of it. You're telling me within like a week you've accepted that your whole life is upside down? I have doubts, because you're just finding this out so immediately. It's not like been, you know, over months, you know, that you've kind of dealt with this thought process. But says, I scheduled a consultation with 2 lawyers to start the filing procedures. Good job. I commend you. That's a hard part. The action part. And he says, I don't think this is savable. I agree. She has no remorse. I think she's a sociopath. That is fair to say, because, what I find crazy is you could be with somebody for 9, 10, 11 years, and most of you guys got to realize you possibly could just not even really know this person. There are people that have secrets for years, and that is what is scary. That's why it's your job as a man that wants to raise a family and do this. You have to vet this girl out, or any woman out, for that fact. And I'm not saying to just like be hypercritical of them, but I'm saying like if this is a person you're going to establish your life with, to have kids and invest as much time and money into and efforts and your seeds, literally, you need to vet. You need to vet. Says, I've been unable to schedule any in-person mental health sessions. There is always a suicide hotline if you need it. It says first appointments are over 3 weeks out, which is very common. That's BS. I'm going to try and find a priest from my local parish, which I would agree upon. Fall back on your faith. You obviously are a faith-based person, which I would say already gives you a little bit of an upper hand, I would say, compared to a lot of people that might not be, because I just see a lot of people that do have that backing typically are, they have a more core foundation of like understanding what's in and out of their control, which I think has some power to it, which I appreciate you looking at. Now it says, I told my mom and closest friends today. That was really hard. I haven't confronted her yet, but I'm making plans. So it's kind of weird because you said she has no remorse. I don't know if that means like you're just observing her and she's not actually showing any kind of like, oh, I'm kind of sad about it. But you said you're not telling her, but your update was 24 January and you were doing this 7 days ago before that. So I don't know why. Says let's see. All right, I don't want to jump too far down. I've been unable to schedule. Okay, I told my mom and closest friends today. I think this part here is the hardest. Telling your friends and family, because you feel like this is some level of burden on you, which it's not if everything you're saying is true, and you should not be ashamed. This person should. I understand you did not choose the best partner. That it sucks. 50% of marriages end in divorce for a reason. Because people don't vet their partners good enough. You need to vet your partners better. But yeah, and it's okay. I'm sure your mom and closest friends are having your back. And by the way, commend your best friend that said he wouldn't be friends with you any longer if you kept with this chick. I will just say that. Update 26 January. And says, I have 2 legal consultations today to get filing for divorce. I hired a private investigator based on suggestions from you all. I find that to be a waste of money, personally. That's me. It's just going to reaffirm what you already know, right? And a lot of these states are no-fault states. It doesn't matter. Okay. So this guy has 5 aliases, a suspended license, and 1 conviction on his record. She needs to vet men better. So that he's 28 years old, married with 2 kids, and lives 15 minutes from my house. Okay, do not go to his house. Please tell me you will never touch this man's property. Walk away with your pride. Take your chin up high and leave with honor, because literally this chick doesn't deserve any of that attention or affirmation that she was worth that level of effort. So I woke up in a panic attack last night while she slept next to me and started bawling my eyes out saying, I'm sorry. She said, hey, maybe it's the workout supplements you're taking, or it's from something you picked up overseas. I've never seen you as upset. Maybe you should go see a doctor. Either she's playing me super hard, or she is clueless as a cat with a food dish in front of her face. Or you just are not communicating at all with this person that was or is your spouse. It's been over 10 days. You told your family, you told everybody, and you're shutting your mouth for what? To not ruin it? She's already done the ruining. I use this analogy. If you were to make some kind of dish and you put salt on it, say it's like a soup, for example, it mixes in, you don't get a chance to pull the salt out. It still is going to be very salty. You can try and dilute it. It's a lot harder to balance it after that. It really is. That's how I look at these issues. Now, says her birthday is January 29th, but I'm working at the refinery that week. So she's going to queue us with her friends from February 3rd to 6th. I'm planning on confronting her when she comes back. No, do it before then. Presenting her with divorce papers and asking her to leave to go with her mom and sister. The issue is a lot of people want this to be like some dramatic movie thing that it doesn't need to be. It is just factual. You're a mature man. You're a military dude. You obviously have a brain. You can make good money. You have the know-how. You just need to emotionally get yourself uneffed from the situation and actually take life by the balls and say, listen here, dude, you control this relationship, and every day you waste with this woman that doesn't, actually care about you, you're wasting your own life. And it's hard to swallow, but it's only getting worse, as you can see. And said, I love her so much, I need to let her go. This is the other God is revealing to me. This was supposed to happen, and he gave me the grace to find the evidence of the infidelity to prevent me from having children with her. Yes, I will say I agree. Thank God you did not have a child with her. You guys and gals have been so supportive, and it's helping me bring me out of a dark place. Thank you so much. I'll keep updating as it goes. So this was the 28th. We have the 30th. And he says, I'm working night shift this week at the refinery. I woke up around 13:45, 1:45. I got a message from the private investigator I hired that she had lunch with him at Qdoba while I was sleeping, and she said she was out shopping. When she got back, I asked her if she went out for lunch. She said she only went to Costco and Maurice's. She was blatantly lying to my face again, straight face like everything was normal. She was tried telling me that I just started crying while the song The End by Elliot Greer was playing because of my pre-workout. I was drinking since I always work out before shift. I was screaming F you while wrapping out 315 pounds in 5 sets of 10. Good. Taking out an outlet. I appreciate it. You're doing that right. She just said, wow, you get frustrated when you work out in my CrossFit gym in the garage. Either this lady is effing with me or she really thinks she's getting away with this. The plan is to confront her on February 7th when she returns. I'm in the process of getting all the paperwork filed set so I can be positioned of favorability and can have closure on my terms. Again, you're going for the drama. You don't need drama. You need movement. You need kinetic nature. You need things that are actually going to progress. Because right now, you are letting yourself sit in hot water. You're a frog that let the water get very hot, got too hot, and now you've said, oh, I know it's hot, but I'm staying around because I'm some military dude that has some stoicism, and I'm trying to have like composure, which really you're not having any composure with this. True stoicism would have the confidence and ideas that you can carry yourself without this woman that's going to leech off of you and bring you down and have no respect towards you or what you've brought to the table. It's nuts. And this is the final update. I couldn't hold it in anymore. Good. My gosh, this was today. It says I confronted her this morning, notified her whole family. I have thoughts on that. The family doesn't need to be involved. Screw them. I know you wanted to go for the emotional blow, the drama. I get it. But the family has no bearing on your relationship. You have no kids together. It's between you and her. That's it. As well as the cowboy's now pregnant wife and his family. Wow. You really went to everybody. And she says she can change and wants this life. I do not believe her. I would believe her actions. She's been banging this dude for months that is married to another woman that they already have kids together, and she is pregnant as well. Winner, chicken dinner. Made your bed. Sleep in it, girl. She didn't tell me because she knew it would hurt me. Yeah. Duh. Of course. Creating this whole life outside of your relationship would do that. That sounds like that would hurt anybody. It's almost like if you guys just talked back and forth. I'm glad you finally said something 2 weeks later, but yeah. It was just a fling. Nope. Didn't mean anything. Nope. She is now bringing it down and minimizing this as much as possible. The end. Done. Don't let her minimize. She's trying to make it seem smaller. It wasn't small. It was big. That's what she said. The guy lied to her and she didn't know better. Doubtfully. No. She left for her sister's house. I stuck to my principles. I appreciate you finally doing that. Finally, guys. It happened. How long? How long? My gosh. The red flags. I love, military dudes have a save-a-ho complex. A lot of dudes want to be this superhero. Let me still be your hero. No. You're already the hero. You've already created a house, a farm. You've got, this crazy good job, 6 figures. I'm assuming you live in the middle of nowhere. It is insanity to me that military dudes, and to be honest, a lot of military people come from like broken backgrounds. So they when they see a relationship like this, they think that they can fix it. They think that they can make it better, but really they can't. And that's the frustrating part about all of this. Even the private investigator, okay, you found more information. The same dude. It didn't matter if he was 50 minutes from you. It didn't matter if they had a Qdoba together. It didn't matter that his wife was pregnant with kids. It didn't. None of that mattered. You just had to stop messing around and finally make a decision. You did. It paid off.